Hello everybody, my name is Star Raptor, and I welcome you back for another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. If you're new to the show, every week I go over everything new in the Star Wars universe that ties back into the films that we all know and love. This could be anything such as the comics, novels, TV series, and the video games. And this week was a huge week for us with Canon. First off, we had the thrilling last chapter to Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy. This is Empire's End. So I read about a third of this novel so far. I'm going to give you guys my spoiler-free first impressions of what I'm thinking about with this novel so far. I'm going to post my review next week as well as my spoiler-free review, similar to what I did with Catalyst. So let's get into this. So this is a couple months after the events of Life Debt, and the focal point of this novel is all about the Battle of Jakku. What was the Empire doing on Jakku? What was the Emperor's final contingency plan he had set on that planet? We're going to see the Empire's last stand against the New Republic's newer army. So that'll be interesting. Something I really like so far is in the beginning of the novel, they don't waste time with getting to Jakku. It's right within the first few pages, and already we have our characters kind of split up. We have, of course, we have Nora Wexley's back, Jess Emery, we have Temin, his droid, which I love, Mr. Bones, as well as Sinjir, and then on the Empire side, of course, we have Ray Sloan. So we get a better look inside all their psyches of these characters. We get to see better character development, and so far, I'm really digging the way that they're kind of perceiving this threat on Jakku. Also, the interludes are back, so, you know, Chuck Wendig has been kind of injecting these little couple-page one-offs that have been set throughout the galaxy to get a better glimpse. Now, the interesting thing to note here is a lot of these interludes that seemed far off are actually now connecting with the main plot of the story, which I really enjoyed. But there's also a couple new interludes that are something we haven't seen before, and the one I want to mention is the second one. I'm not going to give it away. The second one in the book was one of the most heartwarming things I've ever experienced in Star Wars, so I really appreciate Chuck Wendig really pulling at my heartstrings, and that was something spectacular. Now, I also want to note this novel, at least where I've read it so far, is actually very politics heavy. There's a lot of Mon Mothma in here, a lot about the New Republic, something we didn't really get anything in The Force Awakens, so I really appreciate that they've been doing that with the novels, and this is very similar to how it's played in Bloodline. You got these people of the New Republic that are pro-military, they just want to go in and just wipe out the Empire. But then you have people like Mon Mothma on the other hand that are like, wait, I don't want to become Empire 2.0. We have to kind of restrict what we're doing with our military so we don't seem that oppressive. So far, I'm really liking this novel. I can't put it down. Again, I'm going to post my review next week as well as the spoiler-free review. But if you get the novel from Barnes & Noble, you get this really cool double-sided poster. Of course, you got Nora Wexley right there, and here is my favorite, Ray Sloan, right over there. So, guys, let me know what you thought of Empire's End. Did you pick it up? I want to know about it in the comments section below. Okay, so that wasn't all that we had in canon this week. We also had a new episode of Rebels. Yes, Rebels is back from its month-long hiatus. Finally, we get the Legacy of Mandalore, which is Season 3, Episode 15. So, what happens in this episode? Well, Sabine, now having more confidence and skills with the Darksaber, is persuaded by the rebels to go and try to recruit her family, Clan Ren, into the rebellion. So she goes there seeking to get her family. So she goes to her mother, who is pretty much the leader of this clan. Her name is Ursa. But of course she's not very keen on seeing her daughter, who apparently just abandoned the cause. And she also finds her brother, which is named Tristan. And throughout this episode, we see a lot of Sabine and her, relationship, which is very rocky with her family. But eventually, what happens is Sabine gets into this battle with Gar Saxon, who is actually the person in power for all of the Mandalorians appointed by the Emperor himself. So basically, Sabine ends up overtaking him in one-on-one combat, and she decides she wants to stay with her Mandalorians because she feels like they have to elect a new leader, a Mandalore, if you will. So she's going to hang out with her parents, or with her mother at least, because her father is actually been prisoner somewhere. So that is actually where the story leaves off. The rebels kind of let Sabine go on her own way to kind of solidify the power on Mandalore, while the rebels go over and try to do another mission. So I'm going to get into my positives for Legacy of Mandalore. First off, I really like the crash sequence. That's pretty cool. In the Phantom 2, they're getting shot down by the other Mandalorians, and I really like the design of this planet. You know, it's something we haven't really seen in Rebels. I don't think we've seen a snow-like environment. Like I said, Crown Nest. I don't know if that's a province of Mandalore, but something that is very interesting. And I really liked how much we got into the whole Mandalorian culture. So we know Mandalorians are warriors. They're people that rather fight than use words for the most part. So we see that Sabine is speaking with her brother Tristan, but at the same time they're sparring with these stabs. I thought that was something that Mandalorians would always be doing. I really like the difference between Sabine and her mother Ursa. She is so embroiled in what the Empire has kind of brought to them that she has to stay up with her family and it has to live by the code. And you have Sabine, who is more free-spirited, obviously, with the rebels. I really liked the battle at the end and Sabine using every tool in her toolkit. She has a flamethrower, one of those shields, the repulse blaster, and she has to use every one of these to defeat Gar Saxon in combat. That was really, really cool. And Sabine staying behind with her family. This is like the first time we're going to see a departure of a rebel crew member not being with the main group anymore. I don't think it's going to last long, honestly, guys. I feel like maybe at the end of the season she'll come in to save the day sort of thing at the last battle. But that is going to do it for my little review of Rebels Legacy of Mandalore. But I want to know what you guys thought of the episode, so please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. You could also find me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at StarRaptor, so you can always continue the conversation on one of those outlets. But that is going to do it for me, StarRaptor. I want to thank you guys for watching, and may the Force be with you always. So, did you like the video? Then make sure you rate it a thumbs up, and if you did that, go over there, hit that StarRaptor head to subscribe to my channel. Doing so will keep you up to speed on all of my latest content. Speaking of which, you can see a couple of my recent uploads down below. I'm also on social media, so what are you waiting for? Let's start nerding out.